All right, now we're on to mission one. First part of your Nova Labs. Really important to get started on the right foot. So you've already watched the video that was here. Again, I've completed everything, so it's not there. But as long as you finish that 101, pass that pass off that's up above, you're ready to start mission one, training trees. Now, training trees have three of these for this mission. The first and most important thing that everyone skips, and it's a real big reason, this video specifically, you cannot skip. You have to watch these videos at the beginning every single time, or else you will run into some kind of spot in one of these puzzles, one of these trees that will slow you down to the point that you should have just spent the 2.5 minutes watching this. So please start these missions by watching this video. Okay, once you've completed watching that video, you'll start working through these. Okay, so now this is a simple drag and drop mechanics. I'm assuming by watching the video, you understand what we're making here. So that's a phylogenetic tree, meaning that there's some kind of ancient ancestor that was here that at some point split, and one of those branches of trees ends up with the gecko on the end of it, and the other branch of the tree ends up with the palm tree. But this represents some kind of common ancestor. And we know they had a common ancestor because they both have this trait. And so that trait travels down the tree and ends up correctly filling in those gaps. Okay. Now, when you add another one, the first one's pretty simple, right? But now we're going to add something new. And in order to understand where to place this organism, you have to specifically go in to the details menu or whatever they're calling this. Okay. Now, there's a bunch of wonderful information. If you're like, wow, what kind of mushroom is that? What is all that? Okay. That's what all this black lettering is for down here. It's extra information for you. The most important stuff is highlighted right here. This is some kind of mushroom and it has a nuclei, right? And it's heterotrophic. Now, if you look at the other creatures, the gecko has a nuclei and is also heterotrophic, and the palm tree has nuclei and is a photosynthetic autotroph. Okay, so which one is that more like? Is it more like the palm tree, which was a photosynthetic autotroph, or is it more like the gecko, who was also a heterotroph? Well, more like the gecko. And you'll see that they all have cells with nuclei, so that will work. But what will happen is some people will just try to cheat and they'll just put this here and they'll see what it lands. They're like, oh, okay, so I've just got to move it up. Now, this may work really well right now, right? Because you can find where all of these goes by doing it this way. It's super easy. Yeah, this is a really easy tree. If you try to cheat your way like this through all of the trees, solving the trees will take you hours instead of minutes. Okay. Also, don't forget that after you're done making these trees, you're going to have these questions. So just make sure that you answer them really quickly. Hooray, I remember the answer. And those questions always relate to the puzzle you just built. Please remember that as you move forward, these are going to get increasingly more difficult. So here, there's four traits. There's three traits. There's four animals. Go into these details. One thing I skipped is read this really quickly. It'll help you know what they're looking for on these phylogenetic trees, why and how they're sorting them, and how we know there are differences. And then this will kind of show you the specific differences that they're looking for in each species. Okay. So in this case, we're talking about how animals develop. So what type of membranes and all the other fun stuff. And then this shows you. So a dog is an amniote, it's a vertebrate, and it displays binary symmetry. Okay, this is a vertebrate that displays binary symmetry. And the king snake is an amniote and a vertebrate and shows binary. So now you should know that, okay, well, the king snake's closer related to the dog than it is to the goldfish. And so when you start putting this stuff together, you know that the dog's here, and the king snake's a little closer, the goldfish is a little farther away, and then you figure out where the stick goes, okay? And again, just work through that process. Again, notice that all of those are the exact terms that are right here on every single one of them. So use this, and it'll take you way less time to complete these missions. Good luck.